Hello, and welcome to Comic Book Q&A with Professor John. I'm John Ebright, aka Professor John, and this is video 3 of 3 in my series, What Happened to Miracleman, aka Marvelman. Today we're going to finish up and figure out where the character stands as of today. And there was some interesting tidbits leaked in the past couple weeks. So maybe we'll figure out some stuff. Alright, when last I left off, Neil Gaiman had just won his court proceeding lawsuit, that's what the word I'm looking for, against Todd McFarlane, and had been awarded the rights to the logos for Miracleman from Eclipse Comics. But we were no closer to finding out who actually owned the rights to the character. So we're going to fast forward a little bit from that because there wasn't much happening on that front for several years. So we're going to fast forward to about, I think, 2008 is when it happened. And Neil Gaiman enlisted the help of Marvel, inadvertently, and Joe Quesada. And Joe Quesada took an interest in this story, in this mystery, as it were. And he decided to go speak straight to the source, the horse's mouth, so to speak, again. He went and found and talked to Mick Anglo, the gentleman who created Marvelman back in the 50s, who, according to Mick Anglo, and the descendant of the owner-operators of L. Miller & Sons in the 50s, Anglo retained the rights to all Marvelman properties. And apparently, Des Skin did at least contact Mick Anglo about Marvelman before he went published the Alan Moore series. However, I believe Mick Anglo advised him to contact his lawyer, and he never did. He just went ahead and did Warrior Magazine with Marvelman, until a cease and desist letter from Marvel UK stopped that. But Marvel Comics and Joe Quesada bought the rights to Marvelman from Mick Anglo, and immediately started plotting and planning about what they could possibly do with the character. And honestly, not a whole lot has been done with him. There's been some very, very nice looking reprint collections of the Silver Age stuff in hardback and in floppy and individual comic book issue format, which they're very typical of 1950s superhero science fiction comics. They're fun, but they're not very deep, so to speak. And the part that excited me the most is that Marvel took all the Warrior stuff and all the Eclipse stuff and had it recolored and digitally lettered. And Alan Moore was uncredited on all of this stuff. The credit was the original writer, not Alan Moore, because Alan Moore refuses to have anything published by Marvel with his name on it. I do believe that he got royalties, and from indications that he's said in interviews, he said that he would donate any monies from Miracleman directly to Mick Anglo. I don't know if he did that or not. If I ever get a chance to ask him, I certainly will. But Marvel did this beautiful collection of the first 16, well, actually the first 22 issues of the Eclipse Miracleman. They did it across the first 15 done by Alan Moore as one series, and the first 6 by Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham as a second series. And they had, like I said, beautifully restored art, beautifully digital lettering, and a plethora of amazing variant covers by a who's who in the comic book industry. They also did the first new Marvelman, Miracleman story since 1994, I believe, the first official. They did a Miracleman Annual, featuring a story written by Grant Morrison, drawn by Joe Quesada, and another story written by Peter Milligan and drawn by Mike Allred, I believe. Very amazing book. Beautiful book. It's one of the first things Grant Morrison's written in a long time that I liked. But that's my own opinion. So, and then we saw the first series, the first 6 issues of Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham's Miracleman. And I believe that Marvel has not continued this because the Silver Age and the Dark Age have not been completed. But I keep pestering Neil Gaiman on Twitter. Every 6 months or a year or so, I'll be like, hey, any more Miracleman coming? And every time he assures me, yes, it's coming, just be patient. And I'm like, okay, he's just placating me. It may never happen, and if not, that's their prerogative. But something that Marvel released recently got me to thinking and hoping. Probably false hope, but hope is there. Marvel announced a huge event for its 80th anniversary. And it has an amazing list of creators attached to it. And I was looking at all these creators just drooling over, oh my gosh, who could they be working on? What character is this person going to write? Is this person going to draw? Oh, it is an utterly astounding list. Then I noticed 2 things. I noticed that Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham are listed on those artists, on those creators. And Mark Buckingham, as amazing as he is not necessarily a big draw name for any comic book. He's only somebody that someone like me, who's a giant nerd about this stuff, to be honest, would even recognize. So maybe I'm just hoping, maybe I'm just spitting in the wind here, but this year might see the return of Miracleman. If it is, I will post another video in celebration, because this is one of my favorite characters. I hope that I've inspired you all to check out and maybe read and maybe appreciate this character for the first time, or rediscover him for a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th time. I very much appreciate you all sticking out through this series of videos. I thank you for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We at the MCBCFA Play channel very much appreciate all that the viewers and the fans do, because you are why we do this. So, send me any questions you might have to raptorsteve1963@yahoo.com, and hopefully I'll address something that you just don't know, and I will happily do that if I possibly can. This is Comic Book Q&A with Professor John on the MCBCFA Play Network. Y'all have a wonderful day, and keep making comic book collecting fun again. Thank you.